everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 17 and compare it against the iPhone 7 Plus and see which particular phone is a better one for you. Now, what I can probably tell you for the most part is that going through and getting a device like an iPhone 17 right now is definitely going to be the smartest thing to do. Whereas with the iPhone 7 Plus, this one is going to be a little bit of a different type of situation. You have to remember that with this particular device, these types of phones, right? The 7 Plus, it's an older phone. It's not really going to be the best of the best anymore, but it was the best of the best a couple of years ago. So we'll take a look at this phone throughout this whole entire video. But if you want to go through and pick up some devices that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular devices. The iPhone 7 Plus originally came out back in 2016. And with this type of device, you have to remember it was a little bit of an older type of phone. So if you were to go through and pick up a device, this one is definitely showing its age, and it's going to be one of those types of phones that's just going to be kind of an older one, right? So if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, this one's going to be a slightly older type of experience, and that right there is one of those big things to keep in mind there. So with the 7 Plus, it's going to be giving you that, pretty large 5.5 inch IPS panel. There's nothing really crazy with that type of panel anymore. It is kind of, showing its age, but with that type of phone, it is going to be a kind of a, limited type of experience. You're getting a home button on the front. You're getting a little bit of an older type of styling, as you can imagine. And that's just kind of what ends up happening when you're going through and buying these types of older phones, that they are basically going to start showing their age at a way faster rate. So keep that in mind. As you can see, it's an older type of phone. Whereas with something like an iPhone 17, this one is a newer type of styling. So with something like an iPhone 17, these types of devices are going to be giving you a much higher likelihood at giving you a much better type of experience. So with the 17, this one's going to be able to give you a 6.3 inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. This one's going to be able to give you a ProMotion display, 120 Hertz. It's going to be a OLED, that's going to be kind of the big selling point here. It's an always-on display, and it's going to be a dynamic island display as well. So these things are definitely going to be giving you very, very strong types of layouts, and those are really nice things going on for these types of phones. And I would imagine that if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, you're definitely going to be able to get a very good type of device from the iPhone 17. It's going to be so much better in every single way over something like an iPhone 7 Plus. The 17 is also giving you a USB Type-C port on the bottom, which is great. The 7 Plus is Lightning. On the back side, the 7 Plus is giving you this standard type of build. There's no glass on the back of the 7 Plus. Whereas with something like the iPhone 17, this one is actually going to be able to give you this frosted glass back, which feels much better. It's significantly more modern. And that right there is also another very big selling point. Because if you are about to go through and pick up a phone, it's actually really nice to be able to go through and pick up a device like that type of phone that's going to be giving you that type of capability, in my personal opinion. So that right there, I think, is another very good selling point for that type of phone. And for something like an iPhone 7 Plus, it's really going to be showing its age, right? That's going to be the main problem here. The 17 is a significantly newer, better type of phone in almost every single way, and I genuinely just can't think of a way where the iPhone 17 is worse than the iPhone 7 Plus. When it comes down to the price tag, this may be the only leg the iPhone 7 Plus even kind of has, but even then it's not even something I'd even consider. The reason why is because the 7 Plus is significantly cheaper than something like an iPhone 17. Now it's cheaper because it's older and it's just not as good, but if that's a really big thing for you, then definitely there's going to be some better options out there. With something like an iPhone 17, this is going to be a phone that's going to be significantly more expensive, $800 versus probably $70 for an iPhone 7 Plus. So that right there is another one of those key things to keep in mind there as well. Now, when it comes down to their cameras, funny enough, they're both giving you dual camera setups on the backside. The iPhone 7 Plus was the first iPhone to give you a dual camera setup. Before this, it was just single. This one was the first one to give you multiple cameras on the back. With something like the iPhone 7 Plus, this one is basically giving you basically a 12 megapixel main camera, then the telephoto lens. It's giving you things like portrait mode and different things like that, but it is kind of a outdated type of lens, as you can kind of imagine. With the iPhone 17, this one is going to be a dual dual camera setup. 48 megapixel cameras all throughout. It's going to be able to give you really good type of capability, really good type of quality. It's going to be able to give you things like macro photography, 4K at 60 on the front and the back, 2x zoom on the back, 0.5x zoom on the front. They both actually do give you 2x zoom, which is kind of interesting. But without a doubt, as you can probably imagine, something like an iPhone 7 Plus, it's just not really going to be as good of a camera anymore. You're definitely going to want a phone like an iPhone 17 that's going to be a significantly better type of device. And if you are trying to go through and pick up a phone, the iPhone 17 is going to be the one that's going to be a better type of device for the most part. So I will say from that particular situation too, the 17 is just camera is so much better, and it's giving you things like dual capture mode and that center stage capability that we have on the front side as well. That's going to be some really nice type of assets to have on the 17, where the 7 Plus really doesn't give you that. The biggest problem with the iPhone 7 Plus though is probably when it comes down to its software experience. The iPhone 17, is just getting started with software updates. So if you're wanting a phone that's going to be giving you a much better experience from that side, the iPhone 17 is basically going to be the one that's going to be giving you a slightly better experience from a software experience standpoint. When I say slightly, I mean significantly better. Like that one's just getting started. The iPhone 7 Plus is already done getting software updates, and it's kind of been done getting software updates for quite some time. So that right there is also another really, really important big thing to keep in mind here too. Because if you, once again, are wanting the phone that's going to be giving you a slightly better experience and a much better experience, the iPhone 17 is going to be a significantly better experience here in almost every single way than the iPhone 7 Plus. On top of that, another really important takeaway here too is that with something like an iPhone 7 Plus, this phone internally is going to be giving you that Apple A10 Fusion chip inside, where the iPhone 17 is going to be giving you the A19 chipset. So I will tell you from my personal opinion as well, getting a phone like an iPhone 17, the performance is basically unmatched. You are going to be getting a significantly better type of experience in this particular situation from something like an iPhone 17 than an iPhone 7 Plus. But not only because the phone is that much, better and performing better and all that stuff, the iPhone 7 Plus also kind of gives me a better experience. The 17 gives me a better experience because of the ProMotion display and different things like that. That phone kind of gives me the impression that it's kind of a better type of device in a majority of ways, more so than something like a 7 Plus. So that right there is another big thing. You're also getting like significantly more RAM. The device itself is just so much better. And if I'm going to go through and pick up a phone, without a doubt, something like an iPhone 17 is going to be way better than an iPhone 7 Plus. So when it kind of comes down to it, when I look at these two devices, in almost every single way I can imagine, the iPhone 17 is going to be the type of device that's going to be giving me a way better experience. The 17 is going to be faster, it's going to perform better, it's going to be one of those types of phones that I look at, and it's going to be a device that I personally do think I would recommend kind of, going through and buying. With something like an iPhone 7 Plus, I feel like this type of device, it is a good phone, right? But it's not a phone I'd recommend buying anymore. The 7 Plus is older now, it's showing its age, and there's a way better type of devices out there to go and buy rather than this one. So that's kind of what I'd recommend. You can also go through and buy things like an iPhone 14 Pro or an iPhone 15 Pro or 16 Pro. Those are also really good types of devices too, but those are pretty much the ones I'd recommend buying for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much. But definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.